Hello everyone and now welcome to a game between 120 versus Sock. This game taking place here on Tide Hunters. 120 has spawned as the yellow undead on the top left hand side of the map. Good morning, hello, how are you doing? Meanwhile, Sock has spawned as the red human on the bottom right. Human versus undead in a 1v1 matchup. Tide Hunters, the map here, as it is going to be, well, an interesting matchup to say the least. I didn't realize how gone my voice is. So hopefully, hopefully you guys can hear me well. Um, Maybe just a lot of yelling the past couple of days. It is back to school week, so a lot of just trying to get things going. Yeah, all the parents out there, I'm sure, understand. But then again, I'm sure most of the parents out there have little ones, not kids who are already in middle school and trying to juggle those things. An ASMR cast. I remember an ASMR cast, yes. So we'll see how this game particularly goes. It is going to be a Crypt Lord coming in from 120. Crypt Lord well, making its way into the eastern scene here of Warcraft 3. Crypt Lord going to be opening up. There is a ghoul going up against an Archmage and Footman. Where are the players going to be perhaps trying to travel off to today? Crypt Lord does normally mean some sort of expansion opening if you're trying to go wide, and Tide Hunters, players do often expand off to the north. You still have a good amount of distance between you and your opponent's expansion, and well, you can try and place pressure, but you're really not trying to shut down your opponent as of yet. Coming back through here, where is that Footman heading off to? Over here to the top left hand side of the map, as well, the Acolyte does what any Acolyte does on this stage of the game, kills a couple of creeps so that there are beetles and ghouls about. Archmage already out onto the battlefield here, going to use Militia to clear out this Forest Troll Trapper creep camp pretty quickly. The Archmage not doing a good job keeping that water elemental alive, so won't be able to use it for that next creep camp. Meanwhile, a quick surround onto this Footman off over here, meaning that there are now more ghouls. This Murloc creep camp will get cleared up pretty. Sky is playing on Warcraft 3 by the W3 Champions. Wow, that Sky's back in the W3 Champions. That is going to be interesting to say the least. Seeing, well, games of or names of old playing playing once again, always entertaining as the Crypt Lord now makes its rounds out. Interestingly enough, Archmage has gotten to level 2 first, and is now going to be going for a much more difficult Gargantuan Sea Turtle creep camp. This Water Elemental going to be absorbing quite a bit of damage. Militia now coming back the other way. The Water Elemental should be trying to absorb damage here. The Militia going to try and take down the giant Sea Turtles, who deal decent amounts of damage, but have medium armor, making them short work for these Militia. Gargantuan Sea Turtle is going to be the last unit left here as the Militia are being called back. Very aggressive creep style coming in from Sock, as we are looking at a level 3 Archmage picking up a potion of greater healing. Right, Beetle trying to make its way forward, doesn't really scout out whether or not there is an expansion as of yet. Beetle does get taken. Meanwhile, back in the center portion of the map here, well, Crypt Lord looking to get to level 3. Alright, the Snapper will get taken down, and Crypt Lord should get to level 3 or get very close right here. Who's going to get the final shot? Yep, Crypt Lord does get the final shot off there. More beetles are popping up, the level 2 variety, as the Archmage has to be careful of the ensuing undead swarm. Very appropriate that the Crypt Lord is often used in this swarm strategy for coming out from undead, since he does summon up these beetles. We are looking at an arcane tower trying to be upgraded. Militia already being called over in a proactive stance as more beetles come on out. A quick impale, dealing large damage across multiple peasants here, as we are looking at the scout tower not yet quite ready. One peasant going to get taken down. Crypt Lord and Sock both battling it up here at the expansion of Sock, as the Crypt Lord has taken quite a bit of damage. Skeletal minions going after those peasants as more ghouls are now making their way around. All right, units are trying to make their way back. Another peasant gets taken down. Crypt Lord forced to back away, but the expansion is going to end up costing Sock a bit more than 120's expansion, as he was able to take down a handful of peasants and other units as well. Who's going to come out on top of the experience game here? That is the next question. Archmage sitting at 3.6 damage coming aboard, as we are now looking at the beetles being forced to retreat back. No arcane vault down as of yet. Worker count on both sides 13 compared to 10. Nearly full saturation for 120 off to the north. Archmage making its rounds off across over here. Meanwhile, beetles making their way over here to the top left. Ghouls trying to retreat back. Archmage nearly at or getting closer to level 4, does pick up Brutes of Speed. And is he going to try and put down pressure on the expansion here that has a Nerubian tower? Archmage may also picks up a Circlet of Nobility to go alongside the Brutes of Speed, as he's using that early gold from this expansion to try and, just buy stuff to make his presence that much stronger. Archmage is coming back across here. There's some damage more. Well, that is going to be the illusion. Which one can you tell? That is the question, as the Archmage now tries to retreat back here. We could be looking at an Impale. No Impale. Coming back around. That is a fake Crypt Lord there. Sock doesn't realize that the damage is just far too high, as it gets, taken down pretty easily. Archmage now looking to back away. Perhaps drops a Water Elemental. There it goes. Heading back the other direction, as the footmen are going to try and run head on into a Nerubian tower and get slowed down in the process. All right, beetles getting finished up here. There goes one beetle. There goes another. Archmage continuing to inch his way closer to level 4. Is Sky using Sky units, though? Probably not, since Burrow Rush didn't Burrow Rush most of the time. No, it's Sky probably going to stick. The game has changed dramatically since Sky had played WarCraft 3 back in, I believe, 2009 or 2008, which was his main competitive years, or at least back when I could remember. We're looking at the Crypt Lord still battling it up here, trying to take down some of these footmen. Ghouls or footmen are going after these acolytes here. Acolytes down to 9 here, as the Water Elemental is trying to put pressure and punish these acolytes, trying to make sure that he doesn't have a full saturation onto this gold mine. Meanwhile, off on the other side, Archmage putting pressure off in the main base, instead getting damage onto some of these ghouls and affecting the overall mining, as the Archmage does have a Staff of Teleportation and will be able to head on back home. Blacksmith now down, where we're looking at Potion of Greater Healing, Clarity Potion, Scroll of Regeneration. Gonna rinse and repeat. Sock training up new units and gonna be heading off to the north. 120 needs to train up some additional acolytes, needs one more off over here. Does 120 realize it? That is the question, as it looked like the ghouls were attacking something, but not quite sure what. Retired in 2013. All right. Crypt Lord sitting at level 4. Archmage making his way back off to the north here, dropping a Water Elemental, going to push it on through. Once again, Archmage is sitting at level 4, and we see the Slaughterhouse coming under fire. Slaughterhouse under fire is going to slow down those obsidian statues, as the footmen are now trying to swarm inside the main mining location. Footmen trying to stop much of the mining. Death Knight out here onto the battlefield. Double Water Elementals in addition to the Crypt Lord now showing up to the party, as a big Impale lines up and stuns down many of those units. Footmen now trying to retreat back, not going to be able to make it out, as it walks right under the nose of the Death Knight. All right, Footmen still putting in pressure here. Halls of the Dead unable to train up any additional acolytes, as it is going under upgrades, as the Archmage continues to fire back. We could be looking at acolytes perhaps being trained up from here. No, they are not. No additional acolytes being trained up at the expansion, as the acolytes would have a rather long journey to try to reach its way back over. All right, that second Impale not hitting 2 of the 4 footmen there. A little bit of a lucky break, but however, I believe all of those footmen are no longer for this world, as all 4 are quickly taken out. However, the Crypt Lord absorbed all of the experience instead of giving any to that Death Knight. And the Death Knight's still quite a ways, needs a couple more kills in order to get to level 2. Level 2 going to be incredibly important in the matchup for that Unholy Aura. Death Knight going to look to finish off or heal up that Crypt Fiend there, as the Death Knight chases that Archmage away from home. Back down to the south, no weapons upgrades that I can see. Staff of Teleportation, Archmage heading back home here. Mountain King now joining alongside the fight. Footmen are going to be back here as well. Clarity Potion was used, and well, no healing either. Just a Clarity Potion as the Archmage makes its way off to the north. Coming back around, we are going into Keep. We are going into Arcane Sanctum. We are training up some footmen. So we are going for one workshop, one Arcane Sanctum, one barracks. No sign of a Griffin Aviary as of yet, as Sock may need to get more lumber harvesting upgrades to try and offset, well, how much gold he is currently grabbing. All right, back off to the... Actually, I want to see how much... Well, I want to see this. All right, nope, not going to be able to see a unit actually return back. Mountain King going to try and engage, perhaps take down the Crypt Lord. Crypt Lord, however, not going to fall easily. Death Knight, however, low on mana, but has a potion of greater mana, or potion of mana to try and offset that healing. Flying machines are already out onto the battlefield, but with no destroyers in play, the flying machines are just, well, sitting there soaking up a bit of supply cap. However, Sock is sitting in no upkeep right now. Fly machines just keeping 120 in check, not trying to go straight for some of those additional units as the Lich now out onto the battlefield, and this is going to be a sudden power spike. No Frost Nova to slow things down as they are retreating back. Can you have a proper mini-map even without observers these days? No. You cannot, except on W3 Champions. It actually defaults an observer, the flow observer, so that you can actually watch it instead of turning off Fog of War. But yes, I know what you mean. All right, turning back around, Stormbolt going down onto the Crypt Lord. Crypt Lord absorbing quite a bit of damage. Obsidian Statue now coming back over 5-2-1, going up against a 4-1 here. Archmage does have some help from some priests, but those priests are often going to be in a very dire situation as they are often within range of the Crypt Fiends. All right, flying machines overhead, keeping track of this army. Still no destroyers, as well. Sock looking to finish off this creep camp and perhaps try and set up an expansion eventually, at least clearing the way for it. Meanwhile, 120 finding and killing and taking away his opponent's creeps. Sock is going to find it difficult to level up his Mountain King and Paladin, as 120 ventures in to the other side here. Yes, the Crypt Lord is taking away some of the experience away from the Death Knight and the Lich, but the bigger story is that 120 is taking away experience from Sock. Archmage drops an additional water elemental here. All of these units going to get taken down pretty fast. Paladin, Mountain King, and Archmage. Is Sock going to have enough gas or enough units in order to, well, shut down the Death Knight? No Orb of Fire on the Archmage. That does come as a surprise, as you often need a way to try and offset that level 2 and level 3 Death Coil eventually. Arcane Tower trying to hit back, unable to hit the Lich, going after some of these other units. There is some repairs right now. I believe the Arcane Tower should have more than enough range to be hitting that Lich. Not quite sure why it isn't, as it's just only going after Crypt Fiends. A little bit of a misstep there, as Sock does finish all of these repairs. Off to the north, well, this red creep camp is now available. I would have thought 120 would have tried to go after that red creep camp, as it is, well, it is easy for him to take. Instead, 120 gonna go ahead and reinforce the attack once more. Paladin and Mountain King may be able to level up here, but in comes the potential attack. Flying Machine's gonna get webbed down, and well, this battle is gonna ensue here. Stormbolt straight up onto the Crypt Lord. Units are trying to make their way back. 65 supply compared to 70. 120 is in a great spot, though, as this potential creep jack, even though it isn't difficult creeps, could spell problems. Archmage does have an Orb of Fire now. Going to start going after some of these additional units. Flying Machines with nothing to attack here. Frost Nova onto a level 2, or giving level 2 to that Lich. That is a whole bunch of Obsidian Statues in the back. Impale onto the Mountain King. Paladin has to be careful. He doesn't have all that much. Getting a stun would be very bad news indeed until he gets some auto heals from those priests. Continuing to fight its way through, 120 is just taking the pacing on this game. Level 3 now on that Death Knight. Level 2 on that Lich. going up against a level 4, not even a level 5 Archmage as of yet. Little bit of focus fire to offset that inner fire there. Orb of Corruption, Frost Nova going down across multiple units. Units trying to retreat back. There goes an Impale, and there's going to go some heroes. Paladin already taken down. A Mountain King getting Staff of Sanctuary to be sent back home as, well, the Lich and the Death Knight still benefiting from experience from his opponent's creeps, or creeps from his opponent's side of the map. 120 knows when to cut down a tree and knows when to sharpen his knives like any good woodcutter, and that's exactly what 120 is doing. He's backing up here, sharpening his knives once more, making his army much more efficient. If he can get to level 3 on that Lich, that will be, a sudden power spike indeed once more, and he is 4 experience shy. 4 obsidian statues is keeping keeping Sock honest. He needs to have flying machines, but the flying machines themselves are not really doing anything yet. Arcane Vault getting repaired massively, as we're still looking at Book of the Dead now adding in flying machines overhead, looking for something to do, unable to do anything. Level 3 now on the Lich, as the Lich could be able to get some damage in. Quick Destroyer up in the air. Is it going to get taken down? Yes, it will. Gives level 5 to the Archmage. Level 5, level 2, level 1, or yeah, going up against level 5, level 3, level 3. Control Magic going down onto those skeletal minions, getting them back, and suddenly a turnaround here. Sock 71 supply compared to 72. All right, that control magic making a difference. The number of the obsidian statues by 120 finally having to convert to destroyers, since they were starting to lose a bit of mana, as there are still low hit point obsidian statues in the back. Staff of Sanctuary saves another knight there. Crypt Fiend gonna get taken down, and this counterattack by Sock really living up to everything here, as he was waiting for Holy Light, trying to save a knight. Knight looks like it could get taken down, trying to retreat all the way back, or retreat away, as the abominations are now making their way, trying to engage. There is a thunderclap there. There goes one abomination. Another abomination going to get taken down. Mountain King needs a little bit more mana. Level 3 water elementals, not level 3 brilliance aura, as the Mountain King still hoping to be able to land a Stormbolt, but that abomination is just far too fast. Archmage says, I too can take your creep camps, but that doesn't seem to be the case. The Crypt Lord is going to be right there nearby. Who's going to get that little bit of extra damage, as there's a Holy Light trying to save that frontline Knight. Oh, Knight could be in trouble, down to 242 hit points. There's a Staff of Sanctuary for the save again. Paladin continuing to show up once more. Mountain King does have enough for a Stormbolt or a Thunderclap, but hasn't really lined itself up in position. Water Elemental walking into the fray. That's a bit of a dangerous proposition, as the Gargantuan Sea Turtle looking to retreat back again. Water Elemental will get taken down. Turtle is going to fall, and that is going to go Tome of Strength, and what consumable Potion of Greater Mana could be given to the Mountain King. Holy Light right there still, as the units are fighting back. 120 down to a 68 supply compared to 72. Both sides still fighting their way through. Mountain King needs that Potion of Greater Mana for those thunderclaps if he wants to be able to get into position here. Meanwhile, Paladin sitting at level 2, trying to inch closer to level 3. Flying Machine still keeping track of all of these units overhead. Water Elemental gets taken down, and well, we could be looking at level 4 Death Knight here in just a second, which would open up hit and run attacks with level 2 Unholy Aura. Archmage looking to clear out some creep camps here. Archmage does, should consider backing away, but no, the Death Knight is nearby. Death Knight is at level 4. Archmage being forced to be brought back over into this fight here. Level 3 on the Mountain King continuing to engage, as the Flying Machines are looking for a Destroyer to try and shoot down. Flying Machines only have one purpose in this matchup, and that's to take on Destroyers. You need them even if your opponent doesn't bring them to the battle, because he can train them straight on the battlefield, as the Archmage now makes its way over to try and, well, finish off some more of those units. Orb of Fire going to make those death coils much more ineffective. Thunderclap from the Mountain King. He does have that Potion of Mana, trying to finish off more and more units using a Potion of Lesser Invulnerability. Drops the Pendant of Energy, uses the Potion of Mana, uses it, and now with plenty of mana again, continuing to use that Thunderclap. Mountain King running low on hit points, getting focused by the Destroyers, but with that natural magic resistance should be okay. Mountain King Thunderclapping his way through victory. Holy Light onto the Crypt Lord, and that may be the game. A beautiful reversal here, as Sock just stayed true, always had those Flying Machines nearby constantly in order to challenge the obsidian statues that would eventually get to Destroyer form. in the end, no surprise that a 120 came out with a higher score, winning in every category: unit score, hero score, and resource score, only to lose to Sock. All right, numbers are only numbers. As Sock shows, you can win the game even though you lose in every single category. Let me know what you guys think. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Hope you guys enjoyed it.